Hey everybody, it's Althamir. Today we are going to be going over the base game features that are coming in Update 45, which they called Fallen Banners. This is something that they went over, as you can see, on their live stream. This is part 2 of 3, should be only 3, of this that I've been doing. But before we get in too far into the video, just real quick, I want to say if you are new, then welcome. Definitely 1000% welcome to my channel. I appreciate you subbing, especially now that I'm over 100 subs. I know it's not a lot, but it's a lot to me, and I appreciate every single one of them. On this channel, I will always share my opinion. You know, whether that favors any sort of dev, or whether that favors you guys, or whether it's kind of neutral or a little bit of both or whatever. I'm always going to tell my truth. I'm not going to hide behind any sort of meta or any sort of anything like that. There's no point, you know. I'm not going to blindly follow the leader. So you guys can know that. I'm going to give my honest opinion. It's not going to be guided by anyone but me. You know, and I try to look at things a little from the business standpoint too. You know, because I understand that corporations, the corporate side of anything can be extremely cold. And some people don't know that. So you know, I just wanted to let everybody know that before we get too far into it. But let's just get into the video, huh? So update 45 base game features. Typically, for those who don't know, these are typically free. I'm saying typically a lot, aren't I? Yeah, okay. These are free. So let's just get into what they're talking about, because I'm excited about a few of them.
More about things that are coming in update 45 in the base game. Yeah, thank you, Wheeler. Yeah. And again, like, I know everyone in chat is like, oh my God, I don't know if this is a good idea. What is happening? Like, it could be a little
That's
scary.
why you give
This
feedback.
is exactly. And again, like we're trying something just to, you know, turning certain things off and allowing certain things, whatever, just to kind of see, like, we got to start somewhere, right? So it'll be good though. Alrighty, so let's
There's more with update 45.
Oh, yes. Sorry, I thought you meant with Cyrodiil. I'm like, there is?
No. I'm just saying there's more with update 45.
There is, yeah. So the first thing, Jess, my screen share might break again, just so you know.
Okay.
In case you're staring at it. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do this. I'm going to move this over here. Sorry, I'm talking to myself here. There we go. Okay, so first thing we're going to touch on is converting disguises to collectibles. Now, this is pretty much exactly what it sounds like. We're literally converting some current disguises to collectibles. So we're going to have the full list in the PTS patch notes, I'm pretty sure. It's not everything, but it is a lot of them. So you can look forward to that. And the next thing we are doing
in inventory space.
Yeah, exactly. Next thing we're doing in update 45 is we're improving the base mount speed. So basically we're making some improvements to the speed of mounts prior to unlocking major gallop. The end result here is that mounts are going to start off noticeably faster than they currently are. And you're still going to end up with maybe the same or very slightly faster at the top end. So this will be really great for newer players that haven't increased their speed all the way yet. Next thing, I think chat will enjoy
improvements to green champion points. So the following 9 craft green champion point stars will no longer need to be slotted for you to benefit from their effects. And those are Meticulous Disassembly, Plentiful Harvest, Treasure Hunter, Rationer, Liquid Efficiency, Homemaker, Professional Upkeep, Infamous, and Cut Purses Art. So these adjustments will effectively make it easier to engage with the craft tree without having to remember to swap stars as often before you do specific activities, and makes the tree a little bit more forgiving and fun to work with in general.
Chat is happy. Yeah, this is a really nice little quality of life thing. So
yes,
it is. Yes. Yay. All right. Next thing we're going to touch on, we're kind of just powering through everything here. Some map improvements to the Tamriel map. So the first thing we want to mention is we are adding a custom waypoint icon color selector. So basically, this is going to allow you to change the color of the waypoint that you can put on your map. It's currently that little blue diamond. So you can change it to whatever color you'd like. The next thing we're doing, and again, this is maybe for newer players who aren't as familiar with the Tamriel map, we're going to be prioritizing way shrines that are shown on the Tamriel map just to help reduce some clutter. You all know what it looks like when you unlock all your way shrines, and it's just like this sea of way shrines everywhere. You can't even see like where the lines of the zones are or anything. So for players who have just discovered a zone, actually, I have a screenshot. Let me pull it up so you can see what we're doing here. Is that up? Yes. All right. So for players who have just discovered a zone, the Tamriel map will show the way shrine closest to the start of that zone's zone quest. And then as you discover the zone's main city or hub, that city or hub way shrine is going to be the one shown on the Tamriel map instead. And of course, selecting the zone will still show all of that zone's way shrines. So we're not just, getting rid of those visually. This only affects the Tamriel level map. So I think it'll be a little bit easier just to kind of figure out where you're going, right? All right. Are we back to? Yes, we are back to this. Okay. Next thing is something that Matt touched on in his letter last month.
Yes. So this is visual improvements to starter zones. So we've got some before and after, current and new screenshots that we're going to show you as we talk about this. So first off, why are we doing this? So with the wider focus on improving the early player experience, the world building effort started with the Wailing Prison in Update 44. And then it's moved on to the early starter zones, including Balfoyen, Betnik, Bleakrock Isle, Stros Mackay, and Canarthy's Roost. So the goal of this is to bring the world building of the older zones up to par with the zones that are being built now. So what was the team focused on during all of this? Generally, it was a lot of lighting, propping, and clutter work being done, including swapping out some lower res or lower poly assets. They also aim to improve the blending of the terrain and other fixtures to make them more organic, or make the transitions more organic, which I think we've got. You can kind of see where the grass lines and things like that look a little bit more blended in some of these screenshots. Also adding organic clutter.
Here. Yeah.
Yes, that is a really good one. Also adding organic clutter across the zone, along with more signs of life to various nooks and crannies that felt a bit vacant before. Updating lighting, signs, and banners to better highlight key areas like crafting and critical pathways. Turning atmospheric effects on across the zones. Making some areas appear more open and less foggy, like the open areas of Balfoyen, while also giving others their atmospherics ramped up, like the caves in Bleakrock. And then also for water in these areas, you can see in some of these screenshots, we're using the new water developed for the newer zones. And you can really see a huge difference, especially with these side-to-side shots.
Definitely.
And then the team also wanted us to note that the visual improvements in some areas will be a lot more noticeable than in others. It just kind of depends on what was done, but they all have had updates.
Yep. All right. Last thing we want to touch on before we get to the dungeons, which we're going to give you a preview of. This is something we haven't really talked about at all yet, but in Update 45 on PTS, we are going to be adding some add-on flow management for console add-ons. Console add-ons is coming soon in the future, which is super exciting. So basically, in preparation for this, we are we're going to have some preemptive measures going to PTS on Monday. So add-on developers can sort of just get a jump on creating and testing console add-ons. This way, when the feature goes live, they'll be able to just upload them right away. So we're going to have a more detailed breakdown of the changes and the limitations to the API. It's going to be sent over and provided to the add-on developer community next week. Do want to mention one note. just due to the memory required to sustain add-ons, this is only going to be available on the latest gen consoles. So we will let everybody know when we plan on launching console add-ons. But again, on PTS, there's going to be just some initial stuff going in so the add-on developers can sort of get started on it, which is really exciting. All right, that pretty much covers us for, hold on, now I'm rearranging all my windows again. So yeah, that covers us for the bulk of the things going into update 45. And you know, there's a bunch of other little things. The patch notes will outline everything. They're being published on Monday, but we hope that you're really excited about some of
I'm just gonna stop it there. So let's just break this down a little bit here. We'll start off with the last thing. This is the most interesting to me. Well, not most interesting. This is definitely one of the most interesting. Because, one, I mean, I don't play on console, but if you do, if you play in the newer consoles, this will be great. This is a really great step forward. But that little like asterisk that Gina Bruno talked about, which was like that it's not going to be on the older consoles. And I'm like, I wonder if this is going to be like their first step away from getting away from them. Like they're finally starting to acknowledge that while they said they're going to support older consoles as long as they can, it's like they're finally admitting that they've been saying all along that the memory issues are causing them not to actually do content. And I wonder if this is going to be like the first step towards saying, well, maybe they're going to start doing something like, well, older consoles, they can play ESO, but there's just going to be certain things that they can't do. Like you'll hover over, like say over here, right? You're in the Crown store or whatever, or, you know, and it'll say requirements not met underneath because you have an older console. So you can still play the game. Maybe you still get a lot of updates, but certain features of seasons, I guess, are going to be maybe restricted for older consoles. Maybe. I mean, this is purely speculative on my part, right? But I do wonder if this is the first step towards that, where they're kind of saying, "Hey, our game goes on. You know, our game. We can't wait for Sony and Microsoft to finally say, yep, you guys can drop older consoles. You guys don't have to distribute anything for those anymore. Thank you for supporting it, blah, blah, blah." We're just going to continue to move on because there's so many things that we want to do, and we don't want to be held back by memory issues. The visual improvements, the starter zones. That's the thing I think that probably excites me the most. I'm going to go through these again. Like, look at this here. You know, this is crazy. These here. Like, okay, this is the first one, right? Let's see, in the current one, you got guys over here, but in this one, it's a little cleaner. You know, there's not, they took away a lot of the little flames, you know, and looks like they added something right here. They added some lights right here. They made these a little different. Let's see, same thing over here. There's no more guys over here. Of course, this could be just an internal server. Internal servers maybe don't have as many NPCs, or maybe not have any NPCs. Maybe they turn them off to get a screenshot. There'll be more. You'll see more on the PTS server most likely. But you can definitely see there's, fire back here now where there wasn't before. So, I mean, and just other, let's see. Can I go forward just like 10 seconds or something? Is that possible? Okay.
On during all of this. Generally, it was a lot of lighting, propping, and clutter work being done.
Okay, here we go. Current, you can see. Let's see, the tree's the same. Grass is a little different. See, the grass is different. The water's different. I love what they did with the water. They also changed the poles. Like this one's broken, this one's not. I'm really liking the starter
including
zone
swapping out
improvements
some
so
lower
far.
res or lower poly
You know,
assets.
and if
They
you've seen
also aim to
me cover
improve the blending of the
new
terrain and other
auditory,
fixtures to make
there
them
were slight differences in it, very very slight. You can see in this one, like now the ship's older, right? It's showing that this was a shipwreck and it's been there. You know, they added a little more damage. They added a little more things over here for this ship where it's not here. They changed the wreckage here. You know, again and again the water. I think that's really cool. I do love the visual
more
changes.
organic, or excuse me, make
I'm
the
interested
transitions
to
more
see more.
organic, which I think we've got.
I truly
You
am.
can kind of see where
It's
the grass
this
lines and
really
things like
excites me,
that
the
look a
little
little bit
things,
more
and I'm
blended
curious
in some of these
when they
screenshots.
get to some of
Also
the
this is
adding
zones.
pretty.
And this has always bothered me. I'm like, why is it so drastically different? And you look at this, I'm like, yeah, see, that's what it's supposed to look like, you know? They added a broken tree there. Added let's see, clutter's a little different in the background. See over here, the clutter's different. I think that's really neat. But I like that it's more blended. It looks real. This doesn't look realistic. That's not the way they, you know. I mean, obviously we're playing a
organic
video
clutter.
game. So those things
Yeah.
aren't going to be
Yes,
realistic.
that
But
is
I
a really
mean,
good one.
Hmm.
come on.
Also adding or
Even the stone. You see the stones? Maybe it's just the way they are in their internal servers, or maybe the way the picture is. But it looks like they have a little more, maybe moss on the stones. Where in this one they're just rocks. You know, I think that's kind of cool.
organic clutter across the zone, along with more signs of life to various nooks and crannies that felt a bit vacant before.
Yeah, again, this might be just because maybe there's not a lot of NPCs, or maybe just their internal servers don't have NPCs. But I'll definitely be checking that. But this, again, the water here just looks amazing. Now they changed these here. They changed the poles that are on the docks. They put little fishing crates there to be a little bit more realistic. That's kind of cool. I like that. I really do. You know, I think that's pretty. You know, and just I guess we'll cover this one too. They made the shipwreck longer. Add a little more over here. They just added a more shipwreck, made it a little bit more realistic. I guess that's cool. I applaud their efforts with that. I really do. Um, Next is the Tamriel map improvements. Now, this actually does get shown a little bit in the dungeon part. And I'll probably hit on that when that comes in, but I can give you a little bit of a preview. Let's see. Show the map, you dork.
Prison in update 44. And then it's moved on to the early starters.
So for players who have just discovered a zone, actually, I have a screenshot. Let me pull it up so
There
you
we
can
go.
see what we're doing
Show
here.
the screenshot, Gina. Okay, here. Now, as you zoom in, right, what's going to happen is you'll see, like, the zone will actually show you, like, this will say Cyrodiil right here, right? And I think that's going to be really neat. I think that's going to be super, super awesome. So I'm excited about that. It's just the tiny things. And that's what I've always kind of said about a lot of things. It's just, you'd be surprised how just doing some very tiny things can just improve your game or whatever just so much, right? And even this, the improvement to green champion stars. My lord, thank you. I don't know how many times I've switched from PvP or, build where I need different stars to, okay, now I'm in PvE and I'm going to be harvesting more stuff, and I don't need a super fast, I don't need the mount speed one. I don't need this. I don't need that. And it's like, this is going to help me so much, and so much of us out there. And if you know, thank you for this. And I really hope that they actually do this with some of the other trees too. That this is maybe a test to see, hey, if we do X, Y, Z in green, I wonder if we can do the blue and the red too. We'll see. That'd be kind of cool. As for improved mount speed and converting disguise into collectibles, I don't know. I mean, I'm not super impressed by that until they make mount speed universal or account wide. I mean, it's cool that I'll be faster for my alts because I have a lot of alts. I have like 19 characters. My name is Althoramir after all. No, I'm kidding. That's not why I call myself that. Until they're account wide, whatever. For new players, it will be great. But, eh. And converting disguises collectibles, okay. I mean, that's cool, but eh. Overall, I am excited about the base game features. You know, for everyone that was saying maintenance mode, no. Even in the Q1 part of the game, they're adding so much. They're throwing in tests. They're throwing in experiments. They're changing the Greed Champion stars and how that works. They're changing the Tamriel map. They're doing all these visual improvements to starter zones. Like, that's a lot of work. That's not maintenance mode, people. That bullshit term needs to stop. I've never played dead MMOs, but I've seen people play dead MMOs, and this one's not that. Has it declined? Sure. Absolutely has declined. You know, I mean, people, stop playing. I mean, I'm not playing this game as much right now because I don't know where the future is. I still don't know what ESO Plus means. We'll be covering changes, slight changes to that with the dungeons in the next video. And I'll be sharing my opinion on that. A part of me is happy, a part of me is questioning it. So I'm not going to get into it here. You'll have to check out part 3 for that. But this is just, so far, applaud this. I applaud this. I even applaud console add-ons because it could be the first step towards getting away from that, which I think they really need to. I'm sorry, you guys on older consoles. I'm not trying to single you guys out, but I want to see this game get better. You know, start saving for another console or buy a PC. I don't know. I mean, it's the way that the world is now. It's harder, but you can actually get a good gaming PC, and you can make payments over time. You know, that's what a lot of people do. So, anyway, I don't know what you guys think about these visual improvements. Just to let you guys know too, I will be doing stuff on the PTS as much as I can during as long as this is going to be on the PTS, which it hits at the PTS Monday. I'll be reading the patch notes as soon as I can and posting on my channel as soon as I can, going over it from my point of view, giving my opinion, and hopefully it helps you guys. I guess that's all I want, to share information and have fun. It's the point of the channel. Anyway, let me know what you guys think about this. Does this really excite you? Does it not? I mean, you console players, how do you guys feel if you're on console? How do you guys feel about, like, kind of not getting included? I mean, it's not your fault. They don't have the memory requirements. They just don't. But let me know what you guys think. Keep an eye out for part 3. That'll be coming out at some point. It's the longest video, so it's kind of hard to record. And again, thank you so much for all your support and all your subs. Don't forget to like the video if you enjoyed it, or even if you just pretend to enjoy it. Like it anyway. I really appreciate it. And I'll see you in the next video, everybody.